Another game in which they led by double digits and lost the game. We'll get into all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's PrizePicks.com, promo code Locked On. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central. But I'm so discombobulated, bro. What's wrong with this team?
Same thing that's been wrong the entire season. When teams play them physically, they don't know how to react. The Indiana Pacers started playing physical defense in the second quarter on, and the Chicago Bulls could not bounce back from that. And then on the offensive end of it, you allow somebody to score 40 points in the quarter, you're going to have a tough time winning. You allow Buddy Hield to go off for 26, you're going to have a tough time winning. All in the second half, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, this is nothing new. And the saddest part about it was we saw 39-15, and every Bulls fan said the same thing. It ain't gonna last.
Bro, I said this before. Like, I do not believe in a Bulls lead until it's like, if there's 3 minutes or less minutes left and we got a double-digit lead, I may believe in it then. It's still a very strong, weak maybe. But anything before then, it almost, like, this Bulls team has found more unique ways to lose double-digit leads than they have to hold on to them. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I got to get a count. I think we're up to 7 or 8 losses where we led by double digits. I mean, legit double digits, not like 13 points. I mean, like 19 and up. It's a game where, here's the thing, if the Bulls find a way to win this game, there's a lot of positive to take from this game. But again, a lot of negative at the end of this game. The Bulls just they're a team that can't figure out how to close out a game. Even DeMar DeRozan this year, right? Like, he hasn't been able to close out games the way he was last season. But without DeMar DeRozan in this game tonight, it felt like a foregone conclusion that you weren't going to be able to find the shot you were looking for. I don't know what the heck Zach Lavine and Nikola Vucevic were doing at the end of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a lot of vitriol for Zach.
We'll talk about Zach.
Zach passed Vooch the ball with like 19 seconds left on the shot clock. He just let that mug fly. Was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, the IQ at the end of games is not high enough, and that's a team wide thing, and I think that's the problem, right? There was a lot of good to look at in this game, but because of how this game comes down to an end, because you blow a 24-point lead, because you seemingly had no answers by the end of this game on how to stop anybody defensively, we got a lot of bad to talk about.
I said earlier in this, and I went back and looked. I talked about it on Central today. We were 22 games into the season where I literally looked at everybody and I said, I'm done predicting wins or losses for this team because it's just so all over the place.
Yep.
We didn't even make it to 30 games before I got to that point. I don't mean to pile on the team, and I do want to have some actual basketball analysis and conversation about what the Bulls do and don't do, but it's simple. It's real simple. And maybe an oversimplification is that when teams know if you keep the pressure on the Bulls, they're going to fold. That's just what it is.
They're going to crack 100%. And it's been that way all season. And I think the biggest thing that we need to stop doing is saying that we should beat teams. No, we shouldn't.
No, we're sub 500 just like those teams.
We're a bad basketball team. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes down to the fundamentals of the game, when it comes down to crucial moments, when it comes down to closing out defensively, when it comes down, we are a bad basketball team from top to bottom. There are moments that look great. Like tonight had a ton of moments that look great. But guess what? Houston has great looking moments. That doesn't mean that they're a good basketball team. There were people coming into this game, right, saying, hey, we should beat the Indiana Pacers. Why? We were one game better than them. And now we're not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it at the beginning of the season where everybody's like, we're losing to teams that we shouldn't have. And I'm like, yeah, technically we shouldn't because we know we have the talent. But the way that this team has played basketball, who do we really think we're better than? Like, it's not that many teams that we're better than. Are we better than the Detroit Pistons? I just think we're more experienced than them. Are we better than? Oh, no, we're better than the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, I'm not going to get too crazy with that. I'm not going to get too crazy with that.
I think that is the statement, though. That is the thing, and you saw it tonight, right? Like, you saw that any team can beat the Bulls if they play with this formula. We've talked about this formula a million times. That the physicality, and I like Zach Lavine. I'm a Zach fan. I think that, but when you play Zach physically, sometimes he'll play physical back. When he's driving to the bucket, he'll play physically back. Other times, right? Like, and I'm not saying, listen, I understand the refereeing tonight was not good. Very subpar refereeing. The one dude looked like he went out to Turkey, got his hairline did, and he was trying to flex. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was technical fouls getting.
He was feeling himself because he got his hairline.
Oh, yeah, he got his hairline done out in Turkey, bro. You know, he was trying to flex on him. That's how the one ref looked at the young dude. You know what I mean? The other dude looked like he sang with the OJ's back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a good refereeing crew that we were dealing with tonight. There were 3 technical fouls given. Both coaches had issues with the reffing, but at the end of the day, that didn't change anything with the physicality of the game. Because now it just turned into the Bulls looking to get bailed out on foul calls. You know, it turns into Zach Lavine going to the bucket trying to get bailed out on foul calls. Vooch looking for foul calls. And here's the thing. When Vooch is trying to find foul calls, it just takes him out of his game. He's not the same player. And it sucks to say, right? But just I said this during the live call. The most disappointing thing about this team is not that this team doesn't have talent, because I think they do. It's that every team in the NBA can punk you, and you're not going to do nothing about it. Every team in the NBA can punk you, and you're not going to do anything about it. We've watched Chicago Bulls get punked game in and game out. They've been punked 3 times in this 5-game losing streak. By the way, we're on a 5-game losing streak.
5. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably with the 6th coming, and everybody's still holding on to the TNT Bulls. Man, listen, I ain't got no faith. That the teams that built that TNT Bulls streak were gritty teams that punched above their weight. I have no right now. The Chicago Bulls can face a team in the Big 3 on TNT, and I still think we're gonna lose.
And that streak ended, didn't it? Like, why are we still talking about the TNT?
No, we're 20 Bulls? We're still 20 games in a row that we've won at home while on TNT.
Oh, at home.
At home.
Okay.
Yeah, at home.
Okay. I was gonna say the Jimmy Butler Bulls definitely lost over on TNT. Like, I know I'm not tweaking here, dog. But no, man, I look at this Bulls team, and yeah, coming up against the Bucks tomorrow, can they win? Sure, they can beat any team in the NBA. We've seen that, but the problem is they can lose to every team in the NBA, and that seems to be more of an issue than not. I understand they were shorthanded tonight. I understand that you didn't have DeMar, you didn't have DJJ. That does play more of a role later, but you had guys step up that we don't talk about stepping up. You had guys step up that me and you didn't even mention P. Will and Kobe. We said Kobe might be able to play well, right? And he'd have an opportunity. We didn't even mention those guys stepping up. We said that just the energy that Dalen Terry was going to bring was going to be the thing that helped Zach Lavine a lot. And Dalen Terry did bring that energy. It did help the Chicago Bulls. I will say this before we get out of this segment. Is Ayo Dosunmu cooked? Are we saying he's cooked now? Because Billy Donovan hasn't played Dalen Terry all season, and when he needed a stop on Buddy Hield, who was absolutely cashing the entire team out, he put in the rookie.
I'm blaming you because you all season talked about nobody brought up sophomore slumps with Ayo Dosunmu until you. You put a hex on him. You worked your light skin voodoo. Yeah, you worked that light skin Drake voodoo and you put it on Ayo Dosunmu, and it's bad business, bro. I'm blaming you. It's your fault, Pat. It's your fault.
First off, it's mixed Drake voodoo, and I'm sorry, I'm realistic and a realist. You know what I mean? No, I loved what Ayo gave to this team offensively tonight, but it says a lot when Billy Donovan's just like, Dalen, go guard him. Dalen ain't played ever. Dalen played for the first time the other day.
Yeah, as far as meaningful minutes, yeah. So I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough, bro. This whole season is tough, but we're going to get into the next segment, which we're going to talk about Zach Lavine and the team, how the team looked without DeMar DeRozan in this game. If you can't tell, it wasn't good overall for the team as a whole. But before we get into that, I got to talk to you guys about PrizePicks. And PrizePicks is live fantasy made easy. How does it work? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they go on to score more or less than their PrizePick projections, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, WNBA, esports, and more. Literally every sport. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's just that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals, currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code LOCKEDON. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code LOCKEDON at sign up for instant deposit match up to $100. All right.
Get aggressive on that.
Yeah, he came in real aggressive. No lead in, no nothing. That's crazy. All right, Pat. Zach Lavine, what did you think about his game today?
Had a heck of a game. Bad finish, bad shot at the end. Zach Lavine had a heck of a game. 35 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Did a lot to get other people involved. I liked how he facilitated the ball. I think he only had 2 turnovers, maybe 3 by the end of the game. When I checked, it was 2, I believe, but maybe more by the end of the game because that last stretch was kind of ugly for us. But I thought Zach played a $215 million player game. I thought that at the end of it, do I like that shot selection? Heck no. The second shot I loved, and I'm gonna give Billy Donovan credit where credit is due. That was a great play drawn up, but it was too little, too late at that point, and Zach didn't knock it down anyway. Right? If he knocks down that 3, maybe you get something going, and probably about 4 seconds left on the clock or something like that. But you at the finish of that game, right? Like I'm not going to allow the entire finish to take away from what he did the entire game. He looked like our best player on the floor the entire game. Did he close it out? No, didn't. Just didn't. And it looked bad. And I hated the corner fadeaway shot. I thought he got himself more open. I saw that second angle. I was like, dog, you weren't open at all. You just said, I'm going to take it, huh? And realistically, he put himself in a position where there was no other option, which is another low IQ play.
Yeah.
Right? Like you didn't allow yourself to be able to pass it to Vooch, pass it to Io at the top and to keep Caruso. Like you just put yourself in a position where, hey, I'm gonna take this ball and I'm gonna be the $215 million man and make this 3. That's not the player I want Zach to be, and it's not the player that I expect Zach to be. I want Zach to make the right decision. And I felt like it was the wrong decision at the end of the game. But overall, I thought he cooked his matchup most of the night.
Oh yeah, he owned his matchup most of the night, and you got to give it.
Mathurin was not looking good against
bro. Yeah, it was a completely different Ben Mathurin than what it was last game. And Zach Lavine did for the most part. He stepped up in the way that we needed somebody to step up without having DeMar DeRozan, who is our leading scorer this season. He stepped up in the right way most of the game, and we already know. We talk about it. Me and you are both fairly realistic Bulls fans. Even we get caught up in our anger sometimes, but this team was built in a way, if this team was fully healthy, it was built in a way so that you don't have to worry about Zach's low IQ at the end of games. We don't have any of those players out there. We don't use Vooch consistently in that way, and Zoe and DeMar are both missing this game. So, the way that this roster was constructed, it was built in a way to where it does allow Zach to not have to make those decisions in the fourth quarter of games. But unfortunately, this is where we are. The IQ did hurt us. He doesn't get a pass for hurting us. It's just I'm going to be more realistic and not be like some Bulls fans and completely killed him, because guess what? If it wasn't for how Zach Lavine played 3/4 of this game, the Bulls aren't in this game at all. They don't have a lead. They don't have a chance of winning. So,
yeah. No, and I thought the Bulls defense as a whole was terrible in this game.
Yes.
Which is just very concerning. I think Zach played a good part of that in this game as well. I will say that as well. That the corner threes a lot of times was his man finding his way open. He was guarding Buddy Hield for a couple of those just dominant 3-point shots. By the way, Buddy Hield has turned himself into an absolute spark. Because Buddy Hield was one of them dudes where it was like Buddy Hield. Hey, don't get me started on that boy T, bro. I had no idea that man had them Johns in there, bro.
Until me and you were talking, I literally thought that he got veneers after he got his NBA money. This is him in college.
Bro,
he's had chompers his whole life, bro. Like you know how grown people have baby teeth? No, he had adult teeth as a baby. Like them. I'm sorry. Let's stop. This not going to turn into roasting central, bro. Go ahead, keep it going.
That man got wind up teeth in his mouth, bro. But no, I he got some big teeth, though. I don't know why. Like, he smiled tonight, and I was like, God dang,
bro. That man ain't never seen that man ain't never seen a piece of steak that he even hesitated to bite into, hey, bro. Like
he all his steak well done, bro. No hesitation, bro. Like, it's straight up rare.
He's the opposite Denzel Valentine in every single way. He actually makes his 3-pointers, and instead of baby teeth and gums, he got all teeth. It's crazy, bro.
Denzel did have some small teeth too, didn't he? I forgot about that, dog. After Valentine's Day, Stacey King ended that man's career, and nobody talk about that, bro. Stacey King ended Denzel Valentine when that man said, "Oh no, that man over. That man ain't play another game." No, but I just I thought that Zach played really well most of this game at the end of it, and I think that if he's able to continue to play like that. Right, like that feeds into what the Chicago Bulls team needs. That feeds into the player that he can be, and I think it does come down to. I know it sounds like a broken record at this point, but it comes down to taking the ball out of his hands in those moments, having somebody with some good IQ in those moments, having somebody that can find him open in those moments. You know what? When I love that shot, if you get the ball into a point guard that finds Zach Lavine open, not getting the ball into Zach Lavine for him to find himself open. So for me, I think that's my only downside to Zach right now. I thought he did a great job tonight.
Rest of the team. How did you feel about the rest of the team without DeMar?
I thought this is hey bro, it's a lot of gum, bro. Why you throw that Denzel picture up there, dog? This is, by the way, I need y'all to understand, this is how we gonna get through a lot of these shows where we just upset. It's just gonna turn into us frying people, bro. Bro, that man looked like he put tinfoil grills on his gums, bro. Like, come on, dog. That man got screens like a whale on his teeth, bro. Like, what is that?
Would you like some teeth with your gums?
Oh, man. That man got braces.
I'm sorry, bro.
That man got braces. They just put a wire across that mud. But no, how the team played without DeMar, I thought that overall, the offense looked better. The offense looked better. The second time we've seen the offense without DeMar, the offense looks better. And this time, people were knocking down their shots. Remember last time, Zach was finding dudes open left and right, and they just was missing all night. The offense looks better without DeMar. Now, that also could be right. The offense looks better without DeMar and Zach. That is a very key caveat in that, right? Because we've seen the offense look really good with DeMar and no Zach. But we haven't seen that consistent, this offense looks great with both of them on the floor.
Yeah. Oh man, I know that there are going to be people triggered by the offense looked better without DeMar, especially in a loss. But this is the spacing. Here's what I'll say: the spacing looked absolutely
Yes.
better. And when you get players to attack that space, like Patrick Williams did a couple of times. Now he didn't do it consistently throughout the game. I would have liked to see him do it a little bit more, but the floor completely opens up now. Billy Donovan to me should have went to Vooch a little bit more with the floor more open, but woulda, coulda, shoulda there. But you know where I sit. We talked about that yesterday. I'm team trade DeMar. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the offense without DeMar looks like this, right? Very large and clustered together, and just not enough space. The offense with DeMar, you know what I mean? A lot more space.
He has space. He has spaces between every single two.
Major lane right in the middle, right there. You know what I mean? Major lane right in the middle. If you just listening on the podcast side, man, y'all missing some good shows.
Oh man, that's funny,
man.
Bro.
Hey man, I love this, man. Before we get to this final topic, man, well, we do got to give some praise to one Kobe Bartholomew White. I don't know if that's his middle name or not. We also have to shout out our sponsors, man, because very much like Denzel Valentine's teeth. I don't know where I was going to go there. I just wanted to bring it up one more time. If you're looking for a delicious treat, just like Denzel Valentine might be, but don't want all the fat and calories, then you got to try Built Bar. We just got through the holidays, and you know what? The goal is not changed here. I'm still trying to get in better shape. The Built Bars are my key to doing so. Glass of water, Built Bar, go to the gym, come home, another Built Bar, pairing that up, man, in the morning. I'm not hungry at all. I'm able to make it all the way to lunch, but it's because they are so good. And what makes them so good? First things first, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's like real chocolate. Remember being a kid, right? And you want to start your day off with a candy bar? That's what it tastes like eating a Built Bar in the morning. And they come with so many good flavors: churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond. I'm not sure how they do it, but Built makes each one of these bars taste even better. And the best part about them, there's only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't need to wait around to get a box. For years, we've been telling you guys, order your Built Bars at built.com. That code still works, by the way. Now you can get them at your local Walmart and or Sam's Club. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today. Pick up a 4-box of the cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. And if you're at the Sam's Club, run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter and churro. You can thank me later. Make sure to check it out at Sam's Club and or at Walmart, or still check it out at built.com. Locked On NBA on them. Make sure to check that out.
Oh man, how many Built Bars stacked upon each other do you think Buddy Hield could chomp through at once?
We told the same joke. I literally said, I bet Buddy Hield could eat multiple Built Bars at once.
That's funny. Kobe White having his best game of the season, doing what he's been doing defensively all season, playing solid defense. It was he had a little bit more spottiness in this one that I would like to see, but still pretty solid. 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3-point range, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He played pretty good tonight. What do you think about Kobe's game tonight?
I really thought Kobe White played a really good game, man. I thought he came out offensively, knocked down the 3 ball at a high clip, found the open shot, was confident. There was a couple of times where he was looking at Zach like, bro, if you don't give me the ball, like I'm cooking this man right here, right? Like I love that. And you know what I love? On the defensive end, you saw Kobe White a couple of times give you that, come on, dog, you got to be better than that. Talking about himself on the defensive end, missed a couple of backdoor passes, missed a couple of cuts, right? And he literally was looking at himself like, I can't miss that. I can't miss that. I love to see that. Now, in the end of the day, right, it didn't translate to good defense from the team overall, and Buddy Hield still continued to cook everybody. But I had to look at, to me, I looked at Kobe White's game today, and it raised the question in my mind. I know it's a long shot question. It's one game. You can't be doing that. But Kobe White ran the point really, really well today. Did Kobe White's one off season turn him into the point guard that maybe we're looking for?
I'll say this. I believe more in Kobe White's ability to play point guard right now than what I ever have at any point of his career. And I will go on to say this. If Billy Donovan decided to make the choice to start Kobe White over Ayo Dosunmu for the rest of the season, I would have no complaints about it.
I feel like it's a better situation right now. It gets your offense moving. It spreads your starting offense. Does it close down your, and not to say Ayo played bad on the offensive end. I thought Ayo played really well on the offensive end today, but Kobe White has really improved his game. Now, I don't know, right? Like, I'm not going to say that one game in a bigger minutes role is going to change my mind, right? Like, I've also seen the games where Kobe White is still 0 for 6 from the field, right? He's just not staying clap it up after. But I think that his IQ has improved quite a bit. I think that his facilitating ability has improved quite a bit. How he's playing in the pick and roll with Vooch has improved quite a bit. And those things right there, as much as I was like, Kobe White's definitely a two guard. Kobe White's definitely a two guard. Kobe White's definitely a two guard.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a point guard tonight.
And shout out to AK in the comments. He said this, and this is a great point. Opponents cheat off Ayo. I tell you what, no matter how hot Kobe is or not, there are not too many teams that are going to cheat off Kobe White. And when you have that ability, when we talk about that, we need more floor spacing. Ayo is not a three-point shooter. We know that. We've said that he's a combo guard. And combo guards can be three-point shooters, but Ayo's not one of them. I would say this. The thing that to me put Ayo over Kobe White was the defense. And I think the gap between them defensively is less than what it ever has been. And I actually give Ayo the edge of being a better passer. I give Ayo the edge of being able to read defensive better. I give Kobe the edge of being more aggressive at trying to take players off the dribble consistently. Ayo's done it at times. There's that stretch where you were going in on him for missing layups at the rim. But at this point, the things that Ayo's supposed to be doing.
Hasn't ended. That stretch hasn't ended.
Well, when I said the stretch you were going in, you stopped going in on him. You just got over it.
Right.
Yeah. But I think everything at this point, to me, when you're trying to look for a spark to end the season, if I'm Billy Donovan over not tomorrow against the Bucks, but if I'm Billy Donovan over this All-Star break, I'm seriously evaluating Ayo as our starting point guard for the rest of the season. Reevaluating if he should be our starting point guard for the rest of the season. You may consider putting Caruso out there, but to me, Kobe White has done everything and grown in so many ways that it can't hurt. I would say come out of the All-Star break, give him 2-3 games of that stretch. If he can't keep up what he's been bringing off the bench, okay, then you can go back to Ayo. But to me, for a team that's looking to try to find a spark, a team that, to all of our estimations, they have no benefit of tanking, really. They're going to be trying to make the play-in. I think Kobe White may present a better option for you at that point.
And see, I'm completely. I feel like Ayo. I feel like tomorrow's the perfect time to try it.
You think so? That's fair.
He has a 25-point game tonight. How many? What was his overall stat line? 25,
3, 2, and 2.
25, 3, 2, and 2. Can you do it again tomorrow? If you can do it again tomorrow, then we can go into the All-Star break with some questions. But I'll tell you what's not the answer, right? Like, at this point, it's not Alex Caruso. He has a couple of nice passes a game, but we know what Caruso's here for. He is here to be your sixth man, your defense, your high IQ player. But he's not the starting point guard on this team on a night in, night out basis. I think that if you're gonna try it out, why not try it out now? When you're going up against a matchup where Ayo legit gets cooked every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Ayo versus Jrue Holiday is not a good matchup.
Not as good as the one that we thought we may be getting on it. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm starting. I know you said tomorrow, I'm not against that. I just don't know if you tried to change something on a back-to-back. But to me, coming out of the All-Star break, if Kobe White's our starting point guard, I'm not mad at it at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not even saying, right, like maybe that's the time where Ayo gets himself together. All-Star break, able to reevaluate some things. A lot of teams are able to reevaluate things at the All-Star break. I don't think the Bulls are going to go on this miraculous run. We are not the Celtics. Jason Tatum does not play here. We also don't have Jaylen Brown. we have DeMar DeRozan and Zach Lavine. So that makes a big difference. Malcolm Brogdon is not coming off our bench. We got Kobe White. But I look at the All-Star break coming up here, and the Bulls need to answer some serious questions.
Yeah.
And I think
you ain't got the answers though.
I think I think you're talking about the beginning of what the offseason is going to be immediately happening after All-Star break. That's when you're going to look. That's the only reason they're trying to bring in a point guard, right? Like, I don't think at this point AK really cares. Like, of course he says we're the goal is to still make the playoffs. Of course the goal is to make the playoffs. But he needs to know, okay, if I put a point guard on this team, what's really going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, is this team the team that I thought we had, or is this team this? Yeah. So that's the only reason to add a point guard.
I mean, we'll see. Russ still hasn't been bought out. What the heck is going on with that?
I think they just waiting on that. And according to Casey Johnson, right? Like we didn't get too deep into that. Maybe we'll get into that on the episode tomorrow, Casey's report. But the Bulls are talking about if no Russ, John Wall or Pat Bev.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. We actually have 2 episodes for you tomorrow. Expect a mid-morning episode tomorrow, and then our normal post after the game to end the week. But that is it for us for today, Pat.
Hey, man, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Appreciate y'all for showing love. And that boy got some big teeth.
Bro, those are some chompers, bro. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize, the CEO, Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. Now for your second listen, go and check out Game to Game NBA. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls. Peace, y'all.
Hey, Stan Brooks with you, Adam Anthony.